Yeah! Here we go!
It's time for TSS Fantasy.
It is Commissioner Cooper.
I could do a whole 49ers show right now.
Ready to rock out with my gavel out.
Oh yeah, baby!
Don't sleep on my Patriots email.
We're ready for football. That's
Joe Burrow with his wrist. I'm curious.
I find you guilty of all charges.
Although you assisted force in this
I listed off some really great
DJ Chuck Bass.
This guy has been doing it ever since coming off.
I hope you like the way I pimped
He's
you
got
out.
4 targets in all 3 of the class.
Touchdown this year.
You know, the great thing about being a football player is you don't have to take a shower to go to work.
There it is.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is Commissioner Cooper, and you're waking up with TSS Fantasy.
Yeah!
Yeah, all the way from freezing New York City. Got to love it. The on-location Freddie Reyes. Let's get our introduction started because it's week 13. And we got to get your lineup set and also get you ready for a big week in the NFL. Let's get the intros. Justin Jesus Herrera, welcome to the studio, my friend.
Hey, Fred, I feel that, man. It's 30 degrees here, and I got to walk the dog for 20 minutes every single time. That bitch is meant for the water. She's meant for the cold weather, and she loves it. She never wants to come in. So I'm like, come on, dude, let's go. Let's go. But anyways, long monologue over. Excited to be here. This is where the people come. This is the show of the people.
Yeah, I thought I was bad feeling so cold down here, and it's 60 degrees. Let's go to our on-location Freddie Reyes. Welcome to the studio, sir.
I am a true Jets fan to be out here in this cold-ass weather, man. This is true Jets fan weather, man. I hope they win today. Please, God, let them win.
I mean, with that record, you're up there in New York. Yes, you are a true Jets fan. I don't even want to drive down to Miami at this point, so I feel what you're saying. Let's also welcome into the studio Greg OJ, the Juice is Loose Mayor. Welcome into the studio, sir.
Fred, not only are you a true Jets fan, you're a dumb Jets fan, too, if you think we're going to win this week.
By the way, Greg brought it up earlier. Fred, did the Rangers win last night?
They did. They came back with 10 seconds left to score the final goal. 4-3. Let's go, baby.
Is the curse over for Fred? Who knows?
We'll see today.
All right. Well, let's get our let's of course pay the bills before we get things started. If you're playing some daily DFS, go to Underdog Fantasy. Use the promo code TSS. We'll double your deposit up to $100. If you're looking for some championship bling for your fantasy champion, look no further, of course, than Pro-Am Belts. And if you're watching on YouTube, do us a solid, hit subscribe, hit a like, put your lineup questions in. Little things stopping you from doing it, big things popping for us when you do. So we do appreciate it. Cap for Life, well, good morning to you, my friend. We appreciate you. And with the beautiful logo, of course, as well. So we appreciate you checking in with us on Sunday morning. All right, well, let's start out. Brian's a little late this morning. He had just texted me, so we can just, as the show rolls on, let's start out with today's weather.
It's time for the weather report.
All right, and according to today's weather today, it's cold as hell up in New York. We got our on-set weatherman there, Freddie, all bundled up. Let's go into the weather. If you got some guys in these games, you are good to go as far as weather. We got the Chargers at Falcons, Cardinals at Vikings, and Rams at Saints. So you're good to go. No weather impacts for those dome games there. Looking at the other games, Steelers at Bengals. It is 31 degrees. Clear skies and winds are up to 7 miles an hour. Colts at Patriots. It's 36 degrees. Clear skies, winds are at 8 miles an hour. Seahawks at Jets for game time. It's supposed to be 37 degrees, clear skies, and the winds are 12 miles an hour. Titans at Commanders, 41 degrees. It does say isolated snow showers in this one, and winds are 9 miles an hour. Texans at Jags, 62 degrees, clear skies, winds are at 10 miles an hour. Bucks at Panthers. It's 50 degrees, clear skies, and winds at 6 miles an hour. Eagles at Ravens, 39 degrees, partly cloudy, and winds are 9 miles an hour. 49ers at the Bills. That's tonight, indeed, 22 degrees and likely snow. I saw yesterday they were in a lake snow advisory until 7 p.m., which means more than likely there'll be a lot of snow on the ground at the very least, and you should see some during the game as well. Browns at Broncos, 41 degrees, clear skies, and winds are up to 3 miles an hour. Oh, we lost Fred in the mix. I didn't even notice that. All right, so we got some questions to start off with. Let's go to Justin for the first one. He's got Achan, Jacobs, and that was just a comment. Yes, indeed. That's a nice DFS play for sure. Cat for Life does have a question, though. He needs one of these bench stashes. Brandon Cooks or Michael Wilson or Will Dissly today. What do you think, Justin?
Well, Brandon Cooks has already played, so you're probably not going to be able to get him off there. But Michael Wilson and Will Dissly, I'll probably go with Will Dissly just because he's been really consistent production-wise. Michael Wilson has the ability to go off, but for some reason, this Cardinal offense does not go through anybody but Trey McBride. So everybody else gets the scraps, which means he's third man on the totem pole. So I'll go with Will Dissly.
Third man up indeed. All right, well, since we don't have any questions, we're still waiting on Brian. We're going to have to go to, of course, our ultimate DFS lineups, which is, like I said, as the show goes on. Before we do that, however, let's get everyone pumped up. Got to get your workout on. It's time for Bandy's Flex Starts of the Week.
It's time for Bandy's Flex Starts of the Week. What's happening, my people? Man, the fantasy playoffs are right around the corner, and I know y'all are ready. But if you're not, don't forget to check out the Fourth and Flex Fantasy Football Podcast, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you get your podcast. But you know why we're here. We're here for Bandy's Flex Starts of the Week. Let's hop right into it, man. I got a guy that's been going off. After the bye week last week, we probably needed him, man. You're trying to get a win, a good guy to throw in your flex spot this week. The deep threat for Derek Carr, I'm talking Marquez Valdez Scantling. He's got those hands, Derek Carr's got that arm. A match made in heaven, baby. Moving on to the next guy on my list. He's a running back on a team that's been a little up and down, but they just put the other running back on IR. I'm talking about Brian Robinson Jr. Coming back from injury, but he is the guy over there in Washington, man. You can start him this week in the flex spot with confidence. Moving on to the last guy on the list. This one may be a little bit more of a risky pick, but from the same team as Brian Robinson Jr., I'm talking about Noah Brown. Now, we know Noah Brown has had his moments in the NFL, and he's had his moments in our fantasy squads as well, man. You could go ahead and start Noah Brown in your flex spot. He has huge potential this week. Go ahead and do it. And don't forget to come flex with your boys at Fourth and Flex, my guys. Road to the playoffs, baby. Let's go.
Thank you. I've been working hard.
Cat for Life, by the way, just want to say thanks again for your comments and questions. Any word on Devonta Smith? He wants to know. None. It's if you check this out on Friday, Brian came on, basically let us know, and I just checked the same thing. They're going to wait till basically warm up, see how he's feeling, and then see how he feels when he gets out there. It's a shame because it's a great matchup, especially for the Ravens defense. Loves to get up big plays. So Devonta Smith could have a great day today if healthy. So that's, of course, the big question. Brian will be on here in a little bit and give us an update on that. But as of right now, it's pretty much wait and see. It's a tough one. It's a tough week. Even though it's a good matchup, hamstring injuries are difficult to deal with. So I don't know if I would be, mash starting Devonta Smith today. Because again, that's something that could get re-aggravated pretty easy. Cat for Life said, flex it, bro. He loves it. All right. We appreciate you, Cat for Life. All right, let's get started. Oh, look, Eric's in already. So even though Brian's a little late, we got Eric in. Let's do, before we get to Ultimate DFS lineups, let's bring Eric in for some prop bets.
Hey, 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 hey. Smoke weed every day.
There he is. Welcome in, my friend.
Don't matter. Always.
You're early. It's perfect. That's good for us. So we had Brian's a little bit late today, so it worked out perfectly indeed. All right. Well, it's week 13. I hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving, my friend. We appreciate you being here. Give us some money-making tips for today.
I did. Love it here. Not a bad week 12. We got the Noah Gray touchdown right away. It set us up for success. Then Van Ginkel came through. A.J. Brown, Mike Evans, of course. He's on a roll. What do we got today? I think the Patriots beat the Colts. We got a dome team with a QB from Florida playing outside Massachusetts, and they're the favorites here. I don't know about all that. Give me Patriots win a home game today out there in the winter. I think where did it go? I had a total here too, but I'm not an organized person. Let's get into the player props. That's what I'm good at. Winter is here. The snow is flying. The temps are plummeting, and the backup running backs are starting their migration to the front of the lineup. Braylon Allen, over 42.5 rushing yards. We're getting plus 250 on this. His touchdown price is the same as Breece Hall, and I think that's the books telling on themselves that he's going to play roughly the same amount. And, I mean, the kid comes from the University of Wisconsin, therefore built for this shit. The Seahawks let you run a little bit, too, well over 100 yards per game on average. We're only asking for a third of that. I mean, we're not greedy here. We just want our plus 250. Gus Edwards, over 56.5 rushing yards, plus 135. Road spot for the Chargers in Atlanta with Harbaugh coming off the loss to his brother. And then he had to go to Thanksgiving and hear about it. This feels like a back-to-basics game for the Chargers. He won't have J.K. Dobbins today, but he loves Gus Edwards just as much. I mean, probably a dozen carries at least. How does he not get us 56 on a dozen carries? And then Mike Evans, over 73.5, plus 110. We all know you don't have to throw it against these Panthers to beat them, but you sure can if you want. And Mike is on track for 1,000 yards still. He's got 597 to get and 6 games to get him. There's over 100 available, and we're just asking for 74. Again, we're very reasonable people today. And then Trayvon Walker, over half a sack, plus 110, 5.5 of his 7 sacks have come at home this season. Houston gives up 4 on the road as opposed to 2.5 at home. I don't know what's going on there, but I mean, if they're going to get 4 sacks of CJ Stroud today, what are the odds that our boy isn't one of them? It seems pretty low. And then I got one fuck it touchdown like we did last week. Chigoziem Okonkwo. He's one of those dudes. We all have dudes that we just can't quit. Chig is one of mine. We got a glimpse of what he can do last week, and I have to assume they watched that film and they said, let's do more of that. This guy streaks down the field. It's crazy we're getting 5-1, and we'd be even crazier not to take it. That's my opinion.
I like it. And just the total that you were trying to remember,
you got
Jags versus Texans under 44.5.
That's what I was talking about, man. It interacts with the sacks.
See, look at that. Good
like
correlation.
A chili.
That's awesome. Appreciate you, my friend. Do me a solid. Let everyone know where they can follow, subscribe, and get all your great content when you're not here.
You can find us. I'm at PSR Host Guy, and the podcast is at PSR The Show on the Twitter.
Nice. Make sure you go check Eric out. Lots of great tips and great political takes as well when he's on there.
Every once in a while.
All right. I know we're a little late in the game, but we do have our injury expert finally in the building. So we're going to send Eric out and bring Brian in. Eric, we appreciate you, my brother, and we'll see you next week.
I appreciate
you. All right, here we go. Let's bring Brian in, get some injury updates from the Injured List podcast as we go inside the medical tent.
A.J. Dillon just went into the medical tent a moment ago.
Good morning, Brian.
What up? What up? A little late there. I was game time decision for me. I'm playing.
Well, thank you so much for testing it out prior and little game warm-ups, and now he's here. Real quick before we get started, Bill, the Jester is on his phone up in New York trying to get on, so he keeps having, I think, some connectivity issues, obviously, up in New York. Certainly understand that.
Jets have connect issues too as well, Coop. So,
I can see him. I can see him having some issues with the Jets tanking. Cat for Life said he's putting the bail in over Smith, not taking any chance today. My league is cutthroat. I feel you, man. Like I said, that leads into Brian, of course. We talked about this on Friday because he had asked Brian, you were on earlier, about Devonta Smith's chances to go today. I had mentioned what you had said on Friday, that he was basically game time, see how he feels at warm-up, and that looks like what still remains today.
Yeah, that hasn't changed. He got a limited session in yesterday, or Friday, I should say. But like I always say on this show, without a full practice under your belt coming off a hamstring injury, man, that's a real risky move on his part. He'll probably test it out in warmups and see how he feels, but he's officially listed as questionable. Even if he does suit up, I'm really skeptical about how effective he's going to be on that hamstring. So something to keep an eye on for sure. But he is officially questionable. They are expecting him to at least give it a go in warmups. So something you have to watch as you head into that 90-minute window where they have to make the rosters official for the game.
Yeah, that's a tough one too. Like I mentioned earlier, they play at 4. So if you've got anyone serviceable, honestly, that's kind of where I'd be heading today. I have a lot of investments in Devonta Smith in a lot of different leagues. He just fell to me a lot in drafts this season. So to me, I've just put him on the bench at this point, even though I love this matchup so much. Unfortunately, I just don't want to take the risk. All right, Brian, who else do we got on the take us inside the medical tent?
Yeah, so if you tuned in on Friday, you got a pretty good update, but not much has changed. The guys that were really questionable are still questionable, but expected to play. Brock Purdy being probably one of the bigger ones. He again got a limited session in this week. Going to carry a questionable tag, but they are expecting him to be available and to play in today's matchup. Brian Robinson Jr. with an ankle, again, got some limited sessions in, but he is expected to play, especially since Austin Eckler is out with a concussion. Breece Hall is going to carry a questionable tag in today's game too, but he is also expected to be available and play. It doesn't sound like his injury was anything serious. It was just some knee soreness. Darnell Mooney got some full practice sessions in, and he is actually feeling good and should be a full go today. He might even actually be off the injury list. I haven't checked, but he was feeling good as of Friday. And then the outs are the same. Dalton Kincaid with the knee issue, Cedric Tillman, Josh Downs, Austin Eckler, and J.K. Dobbins are all officially out with various injuries, and so not much change there.
All right, well, make your pivots, as Brian alluded to. He'll be on social media as well, giving out updates during the day. So, of course, if you got any questions, shoot it to Bri. He'd be happy to answer for you. Bri, where else can we follow, subscribe, and get all your great content, my friend?
Yeah, so I'll try and do some last-minute updates as we get closer to game time on X at Injured List Pod, Instagram, the Injured List Podcast, Facebook, the same, and then the injuredlist.com is the website where we'll have some blogs up there and some other information as well. So tune into that.
All right, Brian. Well, we appreciate you warming up and getting up for us. We appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, my friend. We'll send you out with our friends from NeuroGuard.
All right.
Dr. Michael Hutchison has harnessed the latest in neuromuscular dentistry and impact technology to develop a mouthguard that does more than protect. It enhances. NeuroGuard Plus isn't just a mouthguard. By focusing on the jaw's physiological position, it provides an added layer of neuroprotection, significantly reducing the risk of sports-related neurological injuries. All athletes should be using a custom mouthguard designed to their bite position. NeuroGuard Plus was created as a means to maintain your physiological jaw position regardless of your bite. The appliance is designed to optimize your upper-lower jaw relationship to improve your strength, your balance, your oxygen intake, and drastically lower your chance of a concussion. Independent studies have shown that the NeuroGuard Plus will provide you with improvement to both upper and lower body strength. The same improvements were not present with a common mouthguard. over 6,500 athletes have used the NeuroGuard Plus. Dr. Hutchison is happy to say that the amount of diagnosed concussions is 0.2%. The NeuroGuard Plus offers athletes, coaches, and parents an advantage to keep their players safe on the field. If you or your child actively participates in athletics, they need to be protected from the dangers of repetitive head trauma. Get your NeuroGuard Plus mouthguard today. Click on the link and use code ILP Sports for 10% discount on your purchase.
All right, let's get to it. It's time for, I know, right? Just me and
Where's
Greg.
everybody?
Justin
Ooh.
just takes a break when he wants. He's like, yeah, I'll just go offline for a little bit. All
Wow.
right, let's get to it, Greg. We got some ultimate DFS lineups.
The power of the Ultimate Warrior.
I just realized why Justin didn't want to come on, because someone dropped the belt last week and was our jobber. It was a 2 for 2 for Justin last week. Had some struggles in the running back position. Obviously, Bucky Irvin was a nice play for him. And Hopkins did okay. Smith and Jigba did good as well. But unfortunately for Justin, he's the jobber this week. And now I realize why he came off the air. He's in the back getting pinned. All right. So unfortunately for Justin, he's out. Next, I guess the next person up, unfortunately, was me. 126.9. And not for nothing, we all did pretty decent. Everyone was over 100 last week. But I went with that double tight end set, and it did not set very well for me. And then, of course, the 0 by Quentin Johnston. Oh my God, that was awful. Let's go to our next guy. It's Fred, the guy on location. 134.1. Like I said, not a bad day at all for everyone involved. But Freddie had a nice day as well. So let's see. It's between Greg and Ledoux.
Let's go, baby.
Let's see which one. Let's see which one of our guys have done it. It is not Greg, unfortunately. I try to build everything up for that, but unfortunately you did not pull it out. You got Bucky Irvin. So where you struggled, where you got not only Quentin Johnston but Isaiah Likely both with nada. If you just got a little bit out of that, you could have got your second one. And guess who? I just opened up his lead with now 5 freaking DFS wins. Leduc comes in. Like I said, he didn't have any zeros. He had that Jade Reed 5.6. And the 3.4 from Brian Robinson Jr. is pretty much the difference. And you not getting another one there, Greg. So I know that's got to feel awful inside.
That hurts.
Gotta stick it to you early in the morning. But congratulations, Leduc. You for last week were our winner again.
And his name is John C.
Count it up for Leduc. That's number 5 for him. Let's look at his lineup for this week. He's got Baker Mayfield, Chase Brown, Bucky Irvin, Aaron Jones, that Commanders D, which again, the Titans offense kind of helter-skelter, and it could be snowing, so that might be a good play. Hunter Henry, he's got Mike Evans to pair up with Mayfield, Mooney, and Adam Thielen. Ooh, got a feeling on Thielen today. All right, Greg, well, you are up next, my friend, as our Intercontinental Champion from last week. Talk about your ultimate DFS lineup.
Well, I'm on the same wavelength as Leduc, man. I got Baker, I got Bucky Irvin. I think they're going to have a great game this week. I went back to the Kenneth Walker well against that Jets defense. The Jets, they're 11th against fantasy running backs, but I think Kenneth Walker will have a good game. I think he's due. I know, Jason, before I sent this out, I was like, I looked at it just now. I was like, damn, I already sent D-Hop, and D-Hop played Friday night on Black Friday. But he gave me, 13 points, nothing to, write home about. I went back to Sutton. I think Sutton is becoming that clear number one in Denver, and he's building that connection with Bo Nix. Marvin Harrison Jr., I think will have a great game against Minnesota. They're 32nd against fantasy wide receivers right now, and I think Harrison's ready to have a little, get back on track with that. I also went with Hunter Henry. So me and LeDuc, we're on the same page with like 3 of our players right now. And I like Hunter Henry against Indianapolis. They're 26 against fantasy tight ends. And I also got Hunter Henry in my home league as well. So I'm hoping for a big game for Hunter Henry this week. And with my money left over, I dipped again to the Patriots, which is hard to pick Patriots players. But Indianapolis is 27th against fantasy running backs. And New England needs to give this kid the ball. He's young. He can run. He's fast. Give him the ball. And with my money left over, I had to pick the Niners defense. Even with all the injuries they're having, I think they'll do pretty decent against Buffalo, but I'm just hoping and praying at this point.
Running out of money, so he looks
yeah,
for the best
man. That's
defense.
like hopefully Josh Allen throws a pick or something. We'll see.
I mean, it definitely could happen. Again, we talked about some very snowy conditions possibly tonight, so that definitely is a possibility. Kyle Singer, welcome. Good morning. He wants to know, since we're on you, Greg, if Devonta Smith doesn't play, does he go with Elijah Moore, which is good. He's got somebody to pivot to on Monday, but do you trust Elijah Moore? He doesn't really have any other options really for us to go to chew on, but do you trust Elijah Moore in the matchup against the Steelers?
I mean, Cedric Tillman is out.
I mean, not Steelers, my bad.
Yeah, Cedric Tillman is out with a concussion, so he won't play. Jerry Jeudy's been up and down in that Cleveland's offense. So Elijah Moore, probably the most, consistent player. But with Devontae Smith, would you rather get a 0 or get, if he doesn't play, or get something from Elijah Moore? So I would just be on the lookout for it. Just keep an eye. But we got to see what's going to happen with Devontae Smith, man. I'm like Brian said, I'm leery of that hamstring issue, man. So just keep an eye on it. I will definitely lean more towards Elijah Moore.
Yeah, I would have probably, to be honest, already put Elijah Moore in my lineup.
Yeah.
Unless you hear something different prior to game time. Not only Devonta being out there, but feeling great. To be honest, because that's a tough play. Hamstrings injuries are tough. They can definitely linger back. I mean, we saw Mike Evans come back from one, and he went out of a game during the game. They just unfortunately just keep popping up later on when you don't really want them to. So I just would be cautious on that play today. All right, let's see what Fred's ultimate DFS lineup is. He's got Jaden Daniels in at QB, Bucky Irving, Tony Pollard has been hot as of late.
Yes.
Cade Otton, who I love the matchup for Cade Otton and Baker Mayfield, so that's why we're seeing a lot of Bucks on here today. Patriots D, he went today. Terry McLaurin, Jordan Addison, Michael Pittman Jr. I like the Pittman play with Josh Downs at. Should see a lot with there. And as Justin mentioned, the offense for the Cardinals flows through Trey McBride, so that's a decent play there as well. All right, I'll bring up my ultimate DFS lineup. And like most, I like Baker Mayfield today. Playing against Carolina, what a juicy matchup. 26 against fantasy quarterback, so I like that a lot. Kyron Williams, I know it's been tough to play him, and Saints D has been good, and they are going to be good at home today, but they are 26 against fantasy running backs. He's been kind of out of it as of late, so I would expect a nice day out of Kyron Williams. Chuba Hubbard, I don't know how you don't like this guy. Been one of the more consistent fantasy running backs, and Tampa Bay's D, 25th against fantasy running backs. Might see one of those ironic fantasy bonanzas in this Bucks-Panthers matchup. Marvin Harrison Jr. at receiver. I mentioned the offense flows through McBride, but the Vikings are dead last in the league against fantasy receivers. So personally, I like that play today. And then I went with Alec Pierce today. He's been the big play guy with the Colts. We need to monitor this though, because he was a little banged up going into this matchup. But the Patriots are 25th against fantasy receivers. So if he is a go, it's a great play today. And then I went with Tank Dell. I know. it's Jacksonville, and they're 30th against fantasy receivers. It's like, got to see something today out of this offense. Hopefully, Tank Dell can give us some big plays that they need. Pat Freiermuth has a great matchup today against the Bengals, who are 30th against fantasy receivers. And then I went with Tony Pollard. Like I said, the offense has been flowing through Tony, and he's been showing work today. Washington 17th against fantasy running backs. So again, and we talked about the weather could be a possible impact in this. So they may lean a lot more on the running game. And I got to go with Colts D going against New England. They are 28th offense in the league. Just a matchup that I really, really like. And Bill said, "Oh hell no, that pick of Fred." All right, Justin, our jobber of the week, and drop the belt. What do you got for this week?
It seems to be the curse that every time you win the belt, you lose the belt in dramatic fashion the next week. You end up getting pinned automatically. But yeah, I'm coming back for the belt with this lineup, guys. I really love this lineup, and I was surprised I was able to afford it. So we'll start off with Sam Darnold. Yeah, I've talked a lot of shit about Sam Darnold, but whether I like it or not, he's been performing pretty well. He's kind of left that Jacksonville game in the dust and has kind of come out of it. It's a big-time matchup against the Cardinals. I think they're going to have to score a lot, and I think Darnold to Jefferson is going to be something you're going to be hearing a lot today. Bucky Irving, got to stick with Bucky against Carolina. Pretty much the worst rush defense in the league. Bucky Irving's starting to get a lot more opportunities. So I like this opportunity for him to break out and put a good number on for that 5,800 that you put down for him. Joe Mixon is my sure bet, 100%. This guy's been putting 2 touchdowns on better teams. Now he gets an absolute lesser team. I don't think that they changed their approach to it. I think that Joe Mixon goes ham sandwich on the Jacksonville Jaguars. My flex is Mark Andrews. Me and Fred have kind of curated this whole double tight end thing, and it's for good reason, because if you can get a good value player at less than $4,000, why don't you do that? So Mark Andrews at 3,900. I love it. I think that they're going to need him this week. I think that he's going to be a part of this offense as these two juggernauts go at it. TJ Hawkinson, my boy Hawk, has been absolutely phenomenal since coming back. And I think that along with Darnold, I think he is going to kind of open up this offense. I don't know if he gets a touchdown, but he gets enough in the PPR aspect with receptions and yards to make it well worth it. Mike Evans, I did not hit on Mike Evans last week, but golly, I think that if with all you guys going with Baker Mayfield, I think Mike Evans has definitely got to hit this week. I'm banking on 2 touchdowns this week. I know it's a lot to ask for, but maybe Fantasy Jesus will help out with that one. I don't know, maybe. And then Calvin Ridley, he's just been great since DeAndre Hopkins has left. It's kind of a shame that he's at 5,700 because he has been so good since he's left. I mean, we're talking about a guy who's been summing it up at around like 6 to 7 catches for 100 yards pretty much ever since DeAndre Hopkins left. So, come on. Will Levis's favorite target. Jackson Smith and Jigba. What's his name, Kamish? What's his name?
He's not droppable. That's his name.
He's undroppable, that's for sure. But past 4 games, he's had 38 targets. That's almost 10 targets a game. Look for him to continue that this week against the New York Jets. Sauce Gardner's, who's going to be feeling the sauce? I don't think it's going to be JSN. I think they're going to put that on DK Metcalf. JSN, I think, goes wild in this one. And then the Saints defense, I was running out of money too. I wasn't ballsy enough to put the 49ers defense on there because I know that the broken ankle Fred is on there. So I went with the healthier defense that hasn't allowed a 20-point game since they fired their good-for-nothing head coach. So I went with the Saints with this one.
All right. I like it indeed. And yeah, I'm all right with pronouncing JSN, but as long as I ain't got to do Westbrook Akine, I'm good, bro. All right. Since our views are so crappy on Friday, before we get into our picks, I know some of you don't get blessed with, of course, our boy Andrew LeDuc does a little segment called Sophistication Station. So before we start our picks, let's check out our boy LeDuc.
Yeah, there's new land over there. It's like a classy place over there in celebration of Thanksgiving. Let's go search for our newest winners to help us get into the playoffs, this final push. Let's start with Baker Mayfield in a beautiful matchup against Carolina. We just saw Patrick Mahomes finally last week look like Patrick Mahomes against this Carolina defense. Baker Mayfield should do the same thing, especially now that he has his top option back in Mike Evans, who is the second start for us. Mike Evans, I want to see him get back on track here. I feel like this is a must start. They're going to force it to him to try to get him going so that they can be ready for their own home stretch of the season here. So Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans right there. And then in a nice division matchup between the Bengals and the Steelers, Chase Brown, who has been basically, outside of Jamar Chase, the best option to score a touchdown on that Cincinnati offense. Give me Chase Brown in the division matchup against the Steelers. I know the Steelers defense is good, but Chase Brown has been able to do it in the air, on the ground, all around. So we get Chase Brown in there, get Baker Mayfield in there, and get Mike Evans in there. Work off that Thanksgiving turkey and enjoy your win. Catch it. Stay classy.
If he were to punch you in the face, you would have to fight off the strong urge to thank him.
Well, thank you, LeDuc. We just had to run that one more time, and especially because our picks this week are Thanksgiving themed. Gotta love it.
We're on a mission, guys. We're on a mission, guys.
All righty then. So let's include the picks from last week. I think I might have made a little bit of an error. Yeah. So I added on our main, Greg, by the way, was our main man last week in the picks, coming back. Indeed. I did add the Thanksgiving Day games totals. Everyone, of course, was undefeated except for myself, losing, of course, to with America's dumbass team. But I did not add the Chiefs, so we'll add that onto our totals. But as of right now, I am still in a very comfortable spot, 122-57. LeDuc, 115-64. Justin, one game behind LeDuc. And look, Greg is, it's getting close here right now. Greg and but of course, the curse of Fred remains. So just check it out. Let's see what he says. Devonta Smith totals just updated. He's trending. Okay, so maybe Devonta Smith might be a go. Thanks, Cap for Life, for that. Makes things very interesting, especially in this matchup for sure. Like I mentioned earlier, I definitely would be. I talked about it, be a little hesitant. But now that you said that, I'm like, ooh, maybe I will go in this matchup. All right, let's get on with our picks. Houston at Jacksonville today. Houston is 30-15 lifetime against the Jags. Last time they played was back in September. Houston won 24-20. They're favored by 3.5, and the over/under is 44. Justin, who you like in this one? Oh, you're on mute, sir. The mute monster has struck again.
Sorry, I was trying to do us a favor and post it on Reddit. Let's safely hammer this one down. Greg, anybody have any problem with that?
None at all.
Let's do it.
There we go.
Get the war chief hammer out, or axe, whatever you call it. Get it out, because we are chopping this one down. We've chopped a few down last week that came out crazy. Houston's been one of those helter-skelter teams this season, but I feel like they have enough in this one to beat the lowly Jags. Looks like they're packing it up for London already. All right, let's go to our next matchup. We got Indianapolis Colts at the New England Patriots. New England's 53-31 all time against the Colts. Last time they played was last year. Colts won 10-6. That was exciting. Colts are favored by 2.5. The over/under is 47. Greg, who wins this and why?
Listen, it's hard for me to pick the Patriots. I hate the Patriots. I dislike the Patriots. I hate everything about Boston. Sorry, LeDuc. But the Colts put a whooping on the Jets the last time the Jets was out there in the field. And I think the Colts are going to put a whooping on New England this week. So I'm going with the Colts.
Yeah, I'd go around the room. This would be a hammer, of course, but we do have a lonely Patriots fan. Bill says Jacksonville is going to break them off this week, which, again, wouldn't actually surprise me the way the Texans have played. But, of course, we do have a lone wolf or a lone Indian in this matchup. LeDuc thinks the Patriots are going to win. However, I believe that is just a homer pick, but let's give him as it be anyway. All right, let's move on to our next one. Excuse me. We got the Chargers at the Atlanta Falcons. This one's going to be a really interesting one. Atlanta, overall in the series, leads 8-4. Last time they played was in 2022, and the Chargers won 20-17. They've won 3 in a row in the series. Chargers are favored by 1, so you know it's going to be close. The over-under in this is 48. Justin, who you like in this and why?
I like the Falcons in this one. I think the Falcons with a nice rebound game. They need it a little bit more than the Chargers do right now, and I think it's going to be entertaining, but I'm going to go with the Falcons.
I like it. I like it. Greg, who you like?
I disagree with Justin, man. After the whooping that the Chargers got at the hands of his brother, I think the Chargers are going to run the ball down the Falcons' throat. I just think the Falcons have been up and down this entire season. They haven't been consistent. So I think the Chargers are going to feed Gus Edwards, pound the rock, get in the red zone. They got to feed Quentin Johnson after that 0 game last week. I think they're going to bounce back and beat the Falcons this week.
Bill said blame the weed if he's wrong and think he's going to feature Michael Pittman Jr. today. So this is a tough one. It's kind of up in the air for me, but I'm going to go with the Falcons too. I think like we talked about on Friday, Kirk Cousins is one of the space mountain of the NFL where it's just up and down for Kirk Cousins, and he's been down. So there's going to be that game where he's up. I feel like this might be the one. The Chargers, like you said, a little bit reeling after that game with the Ravens. That was a big game for them. Coming West Coast to East Coast also, there's a lot that plays into this. I like Atlanta today in this matchup.
You guys lost already. Fred picked the Falcons, so you might get the L right.
We're in trouble. Bill agrees with the Falcons at all.
I don't know. The Dunces last week were commission LeDuc.
So. Right, exactly. So we'll see. All right, let's go. It's too bad he's not here because now we're talking Seahawks at the Jets. Seahawks lead this series 13-8. They did play last year. Seahawks won 23-6. They won 5 in a row. Seahawks are favored by 1, and the over-under is 41.5. Justin, who wins and why?
I have a feeling I'm not the lone wolf on this one. I think it's the Jets. I think the Jets win this game. Seahawks, man, that team is so shaky. And the Jets, this is one of those weeks where you go, what the fudge just happened? I'm just looking to be on the good side, the W side of what the fudge just happened on this one. I think the Jets get their last win of the season.
Nice. Greg, you going the homer pick?
They fired the coach. They fired the GM. They don't know what the hell is going on. The epitome of dysfunction. And I did not pick my team, the Jets. I picked the Seahawks. Gino's going to come home. It's a homecoming for when he got picked by the Jets. He's going to whoop the shit out of the Jets. He's going to throw 4 TD passes. Kenneth Walker with 3 TDs. We suck. We need to lose every game, get us high in the draft so we can draft a damn quarterback. Are you nuts, Justin? Are you nuts? The Jets?
Well, this is to show you how
you know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about this. How funny is it that the guy who's in charge of Johnson & Johnson hired the guy who was so anti-vax to be his quarterback? How funny is that? And then I was thinking about it. What if he just like sticks it to Woody Johnson one last time, and he's like, "I'm not going to get you a top 5 pick."
I'm done.
Oh, the irony indeed. But I gotta agree with Greg. The Jets do suck. They do have some issues.
No doubt.
They do have some issues. Bottom line is Seahawks right now are the better team. So I just see them pulling this out, even though it is tough going west to east, as I just mentioned a minute ago. But right now the Jets are pretty dysfunctional. So I could see the Seahawks definitely winning this matchup. He said Jets. Bill said Jets already got their last win.
Bill, what is going on,
Poor
bro?
Fred.
You dropping one-liners in our comments? I love that shit, though.
Love it. Poor Fred. Traveled all that way, sitting out the freezing cold for
at least the Rangers won.
Gonna freeze his ass off with the Jets with a big L. Like, you're gonna fly all the way back to Florida with a loss, bro. Like, why?
All right, let's go. Titans at Commanders. Titans, So I'm about to read the Friday stuff. Titans actually lead the series 8-6. The last time they played was in 2022. The Titans won 21-17. They actually won 2 in a row in the series. Washington is favored by 6. The over/under is 44.5. Greg, who you like and why?
Come on, man. This is the get right game for Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. I know they lost, I think, their last 2 games, I believe. So I think they get it right. I know Austin Eckler is out, but Brian Robinson Jr. is healthy, and I think they're going to run the ball. I know Jason, you said it's going to snow. So run the ball, right? Feed Brian Robinson Jr. Jaden Daniels is good with his legs. I'm going with the Commanders this week.
Yeah, hammer it down for all of us on this one. Get the war chief cry out because we all like the Commanders in this matchup. Just Titans, though, big win last week. You never know, building some momentum. He said he wanted to come on soon. Bill said he wanted to come on sooner. He had to move to North Carolina and just got settled. Well, congrats on the move. Love the area. If you're up in the mountainous area, there's nothing quite like the Carolinas. All right, let's go next to the Steelers at the Bengals. Steelers lead the series 70-39. Steelers swept them last year 34-11, 16-10. Cincinnati's favored in this one by 3. The over/under is 47. Justin, who you like in this one?
Bengals got to get this win. They got to get this one. Joe Burrow is playing too damn good. Jamar Chase is if this team was good, he'd be throwing his freaking hat into the fucking MVP race because he's that goddamn good right now. So they got to pull this one out. If they don't, then I guess that I'm wrong again. I've been wrong too much this year.
If they don't win again, then you're not picking them next week. That's for sure. Greg, who you liking this and why?
I like the Steelers, man. I think it's going to be a close game. It's a division game, but the Steelers are they just win. Mike Tomlin is just that coach that just wins, man. He figures it out. Cincinnati, I know they got Chase, they got Brown, they got Burrow, but they've been off the whole season. So I'm going with the Steelers.
I like it. Bill said he is in Pinehurst and he sees old people only.
Sounds like
Bengals dealing with karma. It's a wrap. I agree. Tomlin, coach of the year. I mean, not for nothing. The Steelers have kind of come out and surprised a lot of people. And I agree with you, Greg. You and I are going with the Steelers. The rest of these guys are going for the Bengals. As long as Fred's got the opposite team, we're okay.
We're good.
All right. Arizona at the Vikings. This is an interesting one, I think. Vikings lead the series 18-12. Last time they played was in 2022. The Vikings won 34-26. They're favored by 3 in this one, and the over/under is 45. Who wins this one, Greg, and why?
I like the Vikings, man. Sam Darnold got on track somewhat last week. They're feeding Aaron Jones. He finally broke his his streak of not having a touchdown like 4 or 5 games. So I think they get out there. I think they run the ball, and I think they set it off of play action. I think Sam Darnold and the Vikings win the game.
All right, Justin, who wins this and why?
I agree. I think the Vikings get I don't want to say back on track because they've been on track, but I think that they really keep it tight in that NFC North. And it's going to be building up for a nice final game with the Lions.
Let's add our on location guy who finally, I think, got a signal back. Fred, welcome back, my friend.
Hey, Freddie.
MetLife Stadium, baby.
Ain't nobody there. Yeah.
Ain't nobody tailgating right now.
That's messed up. Greg, I don't know about you, kind of suspect, but I kind of good fan you are.
I'm a realist, Freddie. I'm a realist. I understand when we suck, bro. You keep seeing rainbows and unicorns. No, bro, we're shit. Just admit it. We're shit.
I have a friend like that named Craig. Tells me every year how the Dolphins are going to the Super Bowl, and I'm like, bro, since high school, like I don't believe it anymore. Okay, like it's old now. Fred, we asked who wins out of Arizona and the Vikings. Who you like in that one?
Oh, the Vikings, bro. The Vikings been killing it. They're playing good. I do like Arizona. Hey, they're good off for fantasy, but the Vikings are going to win today, and they have that upcoming game with the Lions, so it's going to be huge.
I'm going to be lone wolf in this one. I honestly see the decline in the Vikings. Not that Arizona has played lights out, but I just kind of feel the matchup plays itself. I'm going to go lone wolf I like the Cardinals to upset the
picked
Vikings
We're screwed.
in this one. Oops, whoops! I revealed our next picks too early. Hold on, we got some comments here. Arizona is sketch but dangerous, but he's picking the Vikes. He said he wanted my guy. He's talking to you, Fred. Bill's wanted to say hello. He said, I know Eric is there. So there we go. All right, let's get on to our next matchup, although I revealed what we picked already. We're going to go Rams and at the Saints. The Rams lead the series 44-35. Last time they played was in 23. The Rams won 30-22. Rams are favored by 2.5. The over-under is 49.5. Fred, who you like in this one?
I don't remember. So if I knew me, I picked the Rams just because the Rams are a better team, and they usually pull it off.
All right, so you actually remembered it. That's crazy. Greg, who do you like?
I like the Rams. I like Kyron Williams. I like Stafford. You can't pick against Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, man. I know the Saints look better since they fired their head coach, but they're still the Saints. So I'm going with the Rams.
All right, Justin, who's been frozen like the thinker the entire
time. Yeah, the whole time.
Who are you liking this match?
Saints. Let's go.
All right, I'm with you on this. Me and Justin both like the Saints at home in this matchup. Unfortunately for Greg, Fred went with the Rams, so he's in trouble. Indeed. He's showing us all the Jets pride in the background. I think
no fans there. I don't see no fans, Freddie. I don't see none.
I saw a couple out there.
And it's a short bus too, JC. You know,
it's the short bus. Greg's going hard in the paint this morning.
I don't know. His jet card, bro. His jet card is fucking. I mean, revoked, bro.
He said the short bus. That's a joke I made. Like, damn.
Fred, where's Fireman Ed?
He's on the other side. I don't know if he's in yet.
See if you can find him. That'd be great. We can have a little Fireman Ed Jets chant on the show. I might allow a Jets chant today, especially if we can get a crowd going. All right, I won't waste much time on this next one. I think we all know what's up. Tampa Bay at Carolina. We'll just tell you about the series. Carolina actually leads the series 25-22. Bucks swept last year 9-0 and 21-18. They've won 3 in a row. Tampa Bay is favored by 6. The over/under is 46.5. Let's not waste time and just hammer this down. The Bucks win this one. Bucks, that offense is nasty. The defense is equally as bad. So I like a lot of points in this matchup. Even Carolina stepping up a little bit today and playing some decent offense just because the Bucks D is that bad. So there we go. All right, I just want to move to this next one because this is the one I'm excited for. Philly at Baltimore. Ironically, the Ravens lead the series 3-1. Last time they played was in 2020. The Ravens won 30-28. They've won 2 in a row in the matchup. Baltimore's favored by 2.5. The over/under is 50.5. Greg, who you like this one and why?
Man, listen, as long as the Ravens feed Derrick Henry, they're going to win this game. This is going to be battle of the running backs, Saquon, Derrick Henry. But I think the Ravens need to feed Derrick Henry. Get that man the ball between 20 to 25 times. Feed him. I'm picking the Ravens, the MVP, both MVP, top 2 MVP candidates, Saquon and Lamar's in this game. But I'm going to lean with the Ravens. Sorry, Mary Jane. Coop, I don't hope you sleep on the couch tonight, but I'm going with the Ravens.
He said all 4 of them. Bill said all 4 of them are in the bus. Dead ass ghost town, Bill says.
There's nobody there. Like, that tells you.
It's like 9 o'clock in the morning. The game's at 1.
It should be filled. Dedicated Jets fans. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. Justin, who wins this and why? The Philly.
You know what? I'm not going to elaborate more than what Greg said because Greg's completely right. All you got to do is get Derrick Henry going, Lamar Jackson going. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a big freaking, big field game in this one. I think the Ravens are going to take it.
Look at Fred had to show the lonely guy out there cooking. Fred, who are you liking this?
I believe I picked the Ravens just because I think the Ravens are really tough. I know the Eagles are playing really good right now with Saquon Barkley, But I think who they played is a little bit easier than what the Ravens have played. I think the Ravens get an impact today.
Well, I feel safe knowing the Eagles will be pulling us out today. LaDuca, and I think the factor of this game, the biggest, I guess, outlier, but the X factor, if you will, is the Eagles' defense. The bottom line is it is good, and the Ravens' defense is not. So I like the Eagles to win. I don't know why I just got a middle finger from my wife for some reason, but I like the Eagles in this matchup. Hello.
This is like, I'm good. I like the Eagles, babe.
I think she's directing that at you guys, probably. All right, let's go. 49ers at the Bills. The Bills lead the series 7-6. Last time they played was in 2020. The Bills won 34-24. They won 2 in a row. Buffalo is favored by 6. The over-under is 44.5. They've already won the AFC East. Oh, my God. But let's go to Justin. Who wins this and why?
I will die on this ship. You will never take my fan card away. I will die on this ship. But yeah,
I respect that.
This is gonna be my L of the week. That's for sure.
Damn. Oh, he picks it, and Bill says, "Don't bring the bill." Got the Bills.
The Bills, Justin.
Fred,
no.
Oh,
no. I'm saying this is gonna be my L of the week because I picked the 49ers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had a big text with my boy Greg O.J. Mayer last week talking about 5-5 is a winning record. Blah, 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 blah. And when they got fucking smacked last week. And they're going to get smacked this week. So, yes, they have a losing record. They're fucking losers. San Francisco sucks. Just like the Jets and Miami and everybody else. Welcome to the fucking
don't put me in that
party.
Whoa.
Welcome to the party,
you guys have been losing for a long time.
5-7, bud. Welcome to the party at 5-7.
Fred just wants to bring us down to his level.
Can I just say something cool?
Honestly, I'll take that, Fred, because you probably just cursed this game.
Let me just
welcome to the party. The TSS fantasy crew are all losers.
Can I just, Fred, you were comparing the Jets to the Niners. It wasn't that the Niners.
What is the difference between 5-7 and 4-8?
It's better than what the Jets record is.
Dude, they're going to be 5-7. We're going to be 4-8. It's a game.
Who's 4-8?
It's a game.
Who's going to be 4-8?
We're 3-8 right now, bro. We're going to be 4-8 after today.
That cold weather is getting to your brain, Fred. The cold weather is getting to your brain. Buffalo.
I
picked
Buffalo.
Up,
man? How y'all doing? Hey, what's up, man? How you doing, bro?
Cool, let me get the post up.
I don't know what happened there. That was weird.
Listen, I picked Buffalo before I knew Brock Purdy was going to play. But I still think it's going to be a close game. But Buffalo's going to win. It's going to snow. That weather's going to be crazy. And they have a better record than the Jets, Freddie. What is wrong with you? I would take John Lynch and Mike Shanahan as my head coach and GM any day for what the Jets have.
Listen. So you're trying to change the narrative. I'm going to go over to like you people. You said that they were winning records. They do not have a winning record.
Count them up. Justin is our lone wolf. And
sorry, Justin.
It is music to my ears to hear these Jets fans bickering after hearing all this talk preseason.
Greg is not a real fan, guys. Letting you know. So next year when he jumps back on the bandwagon, he is off.
The only way I'm jumping back on the bandwagon, we hire Rex Ryan, get it back on track.
We don't want you back.
Why would you want Rex Ryan?
Okay, I don't want to be back.
I'm the representative of the Jets, and we don't want you back.
You're the president of the Jets fan club.
It is so much fun to hear the Jets fans bickering, that's for sure. All right, let's finish up our picks with the Cleveland Browns visiting the Broncos on Monday night, a game I could probably skip. Denver actually leads the series 25-7. The last time they played was in 23. Denver won 29-12. The line is Denver by 6. The over-under is 42 in this one. Justin, who you like in this one? I think he's hammering. We haven't seen you the entire show because you've looked like the thinker.
Justin the whole show.
Unsuspiciously wiping your boogies all show. But yeah, I think he's hammering it down.
Broncos? No?
What's that?
Not hammering down the Broncos?
We are hammering them down. We can't see you, so we didn't know if you were actually hammering or not. We could just hear the sound effects. But yeah, we all like the Broncos in this. Broncos have been playing great. Browns have not. I mean, let's just face it. Well, I shouldn't say that. They did win last week. It was a big win for them previously in the snow. Yeah. So anyway, long story short, though, the Browns are just the Browns. I was talking about this on Friday. I kind of feel like this is going to be, James Winston. He also plays like Kirk Cousins up and down. You can't help but like the guy, but, he has those games. And I feel like this Broncos game is about to be one of them. So I do say I like the Broncos.
James gets
this
me
as well. He says, that's a beautiful Jets fan there. You see, he rookie of the year. Bill's a Broncos fan. He's loving the Bills talk. All of a sudden, I saw a light come up too. Bill must be feeling the Broncos love today. Fred, that's a perfect background for those Jets. That porta potty.
That's where Greg's fucking fan card is going.
Listen, flush it.
All right, let's get away from all the negative vibes. Let's bring some positive vibes back to the show, and let's bring our boy Fantasy Jesus. Oh my God,
Justin is loving this, boy. Justin is
bro. That was the best line of the entire show right there. That's what fucking Greg's fan card is.
Flush it, bro. Flush it. I don't give a damn. Flush the shit.
The Jets fan bickering just makes my day. All right, let's take a pause before we close things out. Put your hands together and pray. It's time for Fantasy Jesus.
I'm here to save your fantasy rosters. Good morning, TSS family, and welcome in for your Week 13 DFS picks. We're going to get started with Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals in what only everybody in the universe would call a must-win game. Joe Burrow is going to take his magnificent record, 27-4. That's 27 touchdowns to 4 interceptions against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And hopefully this is the week he pulls it out for the team as well as your fantasy teams. Then we got Bucky Irving. Bucky Irving coming off his best performance of the year, going against Carolina's weak rush defense. I like for Bucky Irving to just have his have his snaps increase, and I like for him to have another big game this week. Sticking with the Bucks, we're going to go with Mike Evans. Mike Evans was on our list last week. He didn't come through with the 2 touchdowns, but guess what? Fantasy Jesus is really feeling it in the ether this week. 2 touchdowns from Mike Evans as the Bucks look to get past the Carolina Panthers. Then we got Mark Andrews. Like Mark Andrews this week. I like his price, $3,900. It's going to be a game that's going to be all about tempo. It's going to be scoring. And I look for Mark Andrews to be one of the top targets for Lamar Jackson this week. And then finally, we end it with the Saints, who have not allowed 20 points to an opposing team since they fired Dennis Allen. Look for the Saints to go out there this week and really put the pressure on the Rams. And the Rams, who are kind of a fleeting team, and their hope is kind of fleeting away, look for them to really put the pressure on the Rams and really put the pressure on Matthew Stafford to throw interceptions this week. That was 5 DFS picks for your Week 13 rosters. May your lineups be blessed.
I'm not sure who to start this week. Trust in your Savior.
Trust in your Savior, indeed. We all like the Bucks today, so you're playing some fantasy. Get them in there. Bill just wanted to close out Jets porta potty. Only floaters allowed, indeed. All right, so I want to thank everyone for their comments and questions today as we close out Week 13. Make sure you check us out next Friday. We'll break down all of Week 14 and, of course, wake up with us next Sunday as well. Fred, of course, thank you so much for coming in on location from New York. We can all see how cold it is for sure. Appreciate you representing your team, as bad as they may be. All right, guys, well, we appreciate you, and we... All right.